My question for the Messianics and those who believe Christians should be under the law of Moses is, if this is the case, that because the Torah declares that the laws of Moses are eternal, that we ought to keep them, why do you suppose that the Levitical priesthood isn't likewise eternal? Because the Bible itself does declare the Levitical priesthood to be eternal in the Old Testament, although in the New Testament it declares it abolished. It seems like a double standard to declare the laws of Moses to be in effect simply because they're declared eternal. And anyway, the New Testament, the Old Testament does declare the Levitical priesthood eternal, as we can see here in the incident with Phineas slaying the Israelite man and the Midian woman. It says, "And it shall be unto him, and to his seed after him, the covenant of an everlasting priesthood, because he was jealous for his God and made atonement for the children of Israel." This is Numbers 25, verse 13. And as you can see here in the red, I have highlighted the Hebrew words for everlasting priesthood. It's right here, kehunat, OLAM. Kehunat, referring to the priesthood, OLAM, is the ordinary word for eternity. Eternity or everlasting, or a very long time, indefinite period of time. Uh, so you see here, the priesthood is referred to as eternal, and as then also occurs elsewhere in the Torah. You see Exodus 40, verse 15. It says, "And thou shalt anoint them, as thou didst anoint their father, and they may minister unto me in the priest office, and their anointing shall be to them for an everlasting priesthood throughout their generations." And again, it says lechunat olam. Again, highlighted right here in Hebrew. Lechunat, referring again to the priesthood, and olam to eternity. It's also interesting that King David himself refers to the Levites carrying the ark as serving before God forever, although we know this is not the case because the ark was lost and the Levitical priesthood is abolished, especially for Christians. First Chronicles 15, verse 2, King David says, "It is not proper to carry the ark of the Lord except the Levites. For the Lord chose them to carry the ark of God and to serve him forever." And again, I highlighted the words in bold, ad olam, referring forever. But so, as we can see, that even though the Torah refers to the priesthood and even carrying the Ark of the Covenant in the Old Testament as eternal acts, that they were not meant to be eternal. In fact, they were superseded by Christ's priesthood. In fact, Hebrews 7, verse 12 says, "When there is a change of priesthood, there isn't necessarily a change of law." So even if you think that these laws simply are the priesthood laws, it's irrelevant because it shows that there is a change of priesthood. The previous priesthood of the Levites was abolished, despite the fact that the Torah declares them to be olam, ad olam, forever, uh, just as it declares the laws, the Mosaic laws, to be forever. So as you can see, that simply because um, the Torah declares several times that these laws are forever, perpetual, whatever you want to say, olam, that they were not actually interpreted, at least by the New Testament writers, to be so. So as you can see, since the Levitical priesthood of the Old Covenant was abolished, as the book of Hebrews tells us, and the fact that the Levites no longer serve God forever, that olam does not necessarily have to mean literally forever. It could just mean a very long time. Uh, anyway, in short, there is no reason at all to believe that simply because the Torah says these laws are forever or for olam, that they are to be kept even in the new covenant. Anyway, God bless.